Alright, so we're going to start a new topic about ratios and proportions. But today we're just going to focus on a ratio and a value and what does that mean. So by the end of this lesson, you should be able to say that I can write a ratio and find its value. Look at that. I fit it on one line that time. Value. There we go. So, what is a ratio? A ratio is a comparison of two values, two numbers that are related to each other. So, they're somehow connected. They have something to do with each other. Right, there are three ways that we can write a ratio: with a colon, a fraction, or with words. So right now we're just comparing quantity A with quantity B. So thing A compared to thing B. So with a colon is those two dots, just like that. That's called a colon. I don't know why I chose 3. Okay, so I'm comparing thing A colon to thing B. And we say this A to B. With a fraction, you put thing A in the numerator and quantity B in the denominator, A over B. And then with words, thing A compared to thing B. So they all say the same thing, A to B, A to B, A to B. But instead of letters, there'll be numbers there. Alright, so sometimes we use ratios with like lists of things or like groups of stuff. And so we have this sample of letters here to kind of guide us. So in this column, we're going to write the ratio of A's to B's. So basically all you have to do is count how many of each thing you're finding. So we're going to count how many A's are in that list. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 A's. So with words, I'm going to say it 4, 2. And then we're going to count how many B's there are. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 B's. So the ratio of A's to B's is 4 to 5. And you always go in the list order first. So since it listed A first, we put that number first. Since we listed B's for second, that number goes second. So the order does matter. Okay, and then in colon form, all I'm going to do is instead of the word 2, I'm going to write a colon, 4 to 5. Then as a fraction, the first number always goes on top, so 4 over, the second number goes on bottom, 5. Okay. I'm going to erase my markings real quick. Alright, the next ratio it asks us to find is C's compared to all letters. So I'm going to count how many C's there are, then I'm going to count how many total letters are in that list. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4 C's, 2, and then it asks me the second one to count the total number of letters in that list. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So So since it asked me how many C's there were first, I put that number first. Then I counted how many letters. There were 16. To write it in colon form, instead of the word 2, I just put a colon, 4 to 16. To write it in a fraction, the first number goes on top, 4, over, the second number goes on bottom, 16. Alright, so I want you to pause right here and after I explain the instructions, and I want you to fill out these 2 columns on your own. Vowels are A, E, I, O, and U, and a consonant is anything else. Okay, so try to find those ratios on your own. Go ahead and pause. Alright, so time to check what you've done. Hopefully you paused and tried it on your own. So to compare the amount of B's to D's, I'm first going to count how many B's there are. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 B's. Compared to D's, as in dog, there's 1, 3 D's. So the ratio of B's to D's is 5 to 3. To write it in colon form, just put a colon instead of the word 2, 5 to 3. The first number goes on top, the second number goes on bottom, 5 over 3. Okay, and then our last one is how many vowels compared to consonants. So vowels are A, E, I, O, and U. It asks us to find that first, so that's going to be my first number. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 vowels. And then any other letter is going to be a consonant. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 letters are consonants. So the ratio of vowels to consonants is 4 to 12. Again, making sure whatever it lists first, that number goes first in the ratio. So that was word form. To write it as a colon, we still write 4 to 12, but just with a colon. The first number goes on top of the fraction, the second number goes on bottom, 4 over 12. Alright, so the value of the ratio kind of helps us compare that. Okay, so it means we're going to write the ratio as a reduced fraction. So this says, what is the value of the ratio of C's to all letters? Okay, we already found that ratio up here, so I'm just going to use that information. Okay, there were 4 C's compared to the total number of letters, which was 16. And since the value of the ratio needs a fraction, I'm going to use the fraction form of that ratio. Okay. Then to reduce the fraction, we're going to say, what can I divide both 4 and 16 by? That's 4. Okay, 4 divided by 4 is 1. 16 divided by 4 is 4. So that ratio reduced is 1/4. So what that means is that, how do I want to say this? There are, or 1/4, yeah, let's do that. 1/4 of the letters in the list are C's. Okay. So 1/4 of the letter in that list of letters are going to be the letter C. Okay, and then it says, what is the value of the ratio of consonants to vowels? Notice that earlier we found vowels to consonants, but this is asking for consonants first. So I'm just going to flip-flop them. There were 12 consonants compared to 4 vowels. So I take my fraction form and then I reduce it. So I'm going to say, what can I divide both 4 and 12 by? If you're not sure where to start with like 2, 3, or 5. So I'm going to try 2. 12 divided by 2 is 6. 4 divided by 2 is 2. Okay, I know that I can keep going. I can divide by 2 again. 6 divided by 2 is 3. 2 divided by 2 is 1. 3 over 1 is just 3. So that means that there are 3 times as many consonants as there are vowels. So the value of the ratio lets me compare them. So that if I know I take the number of vowels times 3, that would give me the number of consonants. Alright, so that's it. Basically, you just count how many things it's trying to have you find. And then if it's asking for the value, you just put it in a fraction and then reduce. And that's it.